Okay, I've just come back, and while I was there, they had $6 bag basically, or $6.50 for 40 litres of this fine 3 to 4 mil prill. I think that's what it is. So, you know, I might make use of that. But I thought, I bought myself one of these graters yesterday. So if I don't have enough poly left over from there to fill half the bucket sort of thing, with my sponge in it sort of thing, well then I'll try and use the grater. But if I have difficulty, may end up using that, but in future I might want to try that too. Anyway, I got myself this horseradish, some strawberries, and 2 fly traps here. You know, I think I'm on spot colour. So yeah, they're not the best fellas, and I couldn't afford too many. They're getting a bit pricey. This, when I went back, I was forced to go back because I went to another shop and they didn't have any of the Manutech stuff. I mean, the Manutech's terrible because the pissy little chap that works there won't deliver south of the border sort of thing. And I'm thinking, well, you know, can you, Mr. Trump, can you get onto him? And if he doesn't want to deliver south of the border, can you send him back to his own country, please? Because we're in the country that has the tyranny of distance, you know. That is one thing that really gets our backs up, that he won't deliver down south. So, you know, I want to see, and if it's not in the shops, you can't buy it. So, you know, please, Mr. Trump, can you get on to the person at the head office at Manutech in Adelaide and say, if you're not willing to deliver down south of Adelaide, can you please go back to your own country? Okay? Thank you very much. And, well, I've got myself some eggs. Yeah, and I think the first step after the poly is to actually see how many eggs we can actually fit into our 2.4 litre thing, and we go from there. But the first stage, I think, is to get aiming. I've already pre-cut it, and just to see whether it will fit or not in there. And I think we'll just be generous, rewind sort of thing. So there we go, we got that basic thing. Now I just put this on the tripod. Tripod is interrupters, and maybe go back to general focus now. Yep. Which means it might get a little bit too dark, I don't know. So anyway, so what I want to do now is get the sponge, get the old large sponge, rip it open as you do. See, also the other thing we have in it, we have a bloke running the Australia Post earning $5 million, but he hasn't got the brains or the balls to say, well, if the parcel post system has enlarged 4 times in the last 5 or so years, why don't we pay for the letter run, or the letter option of Australia Post by subsidising off the parcel post? No, he hasn't got that. Doesn't seem to have the brains or the balls to do that. So now they're cutting out country services. We don't really have a mail system now. It's supposed to be delivered every 3 times a week, but I get the impression, or that they got the tendency to miss out the Wednesday. So you just get maybe a Monday or a Friday. But then if it's a stinking hot day in summer, or if it's a really wet day in the wet or winter, they might want to avoid that sort of thing. Of course, then 3 or 4. So basically, and then of course, then you got things like social services that send out form letters to people. That's all dependent on the post, and if they don't get out in a timely fashion, you got reasonable suspicions to question, haven't you? You know, you say, well, you sent this letter out over a month ago or something. I only got this yesterday, sort of thing. You know, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think he needs to either step down or bugger off back to his own country again. I think that's Mr. Trump. Can you also get onto him? And yeah, I think he needs to bugger off back to his own country, because he's earning far too much and doing way too little. So anyway, the first step is here. I think I've got that off my chest now. I said, we're in a free country. You can say what you like. As I said, you should better say it once, and once only get off your chest, get it out in the open, and say, you know, we're not happy. We're the one country in the world that has the tyranny of distance. So basically what I'm going to do is fill this up and see if we've got enough. If we've got enough, I don't have to do any bloody grinding, but you might want to demonstrate whether it's... So I'll put this in, and maybe we'll do it that way. I think basically I may just scrape through and got enough. So basically But we might want to see how good the grinder is, and what sort of. I'll get another bucket or something, just to see how we go. Okay. Got myself another bucket very quickly, and we're just going to see what the grinder is like. Might just want to make it all tickety-boo, and we just rip this off if we can, out of the way. And we're just going to grind some in here to see what it's like. I think I preferred that one to that one. I think we'll see. See how quick it is. I mean, got to watch your hands though. You might want to put gardening gloves on or something like that. You know, I'm used to this, so you know, it develops skill sort of thing. So I used to sieve that to get this. So, you know, I don't know. We can put a bit in there. I think you get the general idea, but that's not what I do. I think we've got enough in there just to get it going, because the rest is going to be perlite, of course. But I want to keep the perlite free so that the organism can grow from this out and into the. So it grows from the reductive flannel gas generation straight into the perlite, where it's being. I suppose like a little house in a way, microorganism house, and then the roots can grow through all around that, through that sort of thing. So step one here is put this out here, and now we're going to mix this with the egg yolk. But what I want to do first is to find out how many egg yolks make up 2.4 litres we've got, and whether I've got enough or not. So maybe, oh, we can start it, fellas. Keep the clip's almost about to run out, so a nice good clip. Or maybe better to start it, because otherwise you won't get to the end of the journey very quickly. So okay, over and out for now.